People with a rough past generally don't feel like they deserve good things.
Yeah.
And when things get good and comfortable, they have a hard time believing that they deserve that.
Welcome to More Than an Inmate's Girlfriend. I'm your host, Jay, and we are on episode 2 of the second season. I know I say this a lot, but this one is one that we recorded a very long time ago, this episode, and it's always been close to my heart. And I've been counting down the days until I could release this. And there's a few reasons why. The first one really has to do with the fact that it's very common. And what I mean by very common is this episode is based around reoffenders. So men and women that have gone through the system multiple times, have committed crimes and done time and then been released and then either, messed up their parole or committed a separate crime after parole. And it would be naive to say that it doesn't happen often. But what I love about this episode is the person that we are interviewing and how she is able to communicate to us that might not understand why someone keeps reoffending. She has a very beautiful way of showing the world that the person that she loves might have been incarcerated multiple times, but he is so much more than that. And there are reasons. And the fact that someone can be given certain things in life and then you throw in resources and you throw in love and you show this person that they are deserving of more and they are capable of more. And then you get to see a transformation. I don't think there's a better couple that could help us understand reoffending more than this couple. Before we get into it, I have been sharing a little bit more openly on TikTok what's been going on in my life or where I've been at or how I've been feeling about all this. For those of you that haven't listened to previous episodes, I'm currently suspended indefinitely from contacting my husband and blocked on all forms of communication. And it's weighed very heavily on me. It's very, very difficult to process. And I've been having a really hard time. And I've decided that I really need to stop what I'm doing and stop feeling sorry for myself and not let it affect my life the way it has drastically the last almost year. So I'm working on that. And part of that is being more authentic to who I am. And part of that means sharing my truth and sharing my husband and speaking about him. So that has included being on TikTok more and talking a little bit more and opening the conversation a little bit more. So I'm very new to it. Forgive me. Social media has never been something that I've been very fond of. But with that, I think AJ and we were talking about maybe going on lives. We were thinking maybe like every Wednesday evening going on TikTok live to discuss the episode that we released the week before. And it would be really cool if the person that was being interviewed would come on eventually or even be in the comments to answer any questions that people might have. So that's kind of our idea right now. I don't know what you guys think about it. I'm not a huge fan of TikTok live. I still have to do the 30 minutes alone thing that I don't want to do. But anyways, off topic. So yeah, I think we're going to be doing that. So keep your eye out, keep your ears out, keep watching, because I think we will be doing that. And I think that would be really, really cool. Other than that, please like the show, follow the show. I know it's such a small gesture, but just you guys clicking that follow button really helps us. And you can support us by just simply liking and following the show. You can follow us on Instagram at podcast_prisongf or on TikTok at More Than an Inmate's GF. And yeah, with that, let's get into reoffenders. Welcome, Ashlie.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about your relationship. Do you want to tell me how you guys met? Start from the beginning.
So we first met in about, I think it was 2016. He was in fire camp, and I actually met him on a dating site.
Wow.
He told me right away that he was in prison.
He did?
Yes, he did. Pretty much right away he told me. He didn't want to keep any secrets. He wanted to be honest, so I respected that.
I feel like I've had my fair share of dating app experiences. I don't know what I would do if I matched with someone and then they said, like, by the way, I'm incarcerated. Like, I don't know. I feel like that's so way out and not a thing.
I know. I never expected it.
Yeah.
Thought I was just talking to a local guy, you know?
Yeah. And then did you have any hesitation or you're just like, okay, I'm okay with that?
I was a little hesitant. I was just kind of, I guess, intrigued by it because
Fair.
I just wasn't expecting it. So I was intrigued. And we just kind of clicked.
Cool. What was it about him that was different?
I mean, he was in prison. That was different.
Yeah.
And he was just easier to talk to. And because he couldn't have any physical contact with me, there was no expectation to be physical right away, which a lot of guys on dating sites, they're just trying to hook up.
And did he share with
So,
you when he was getting out? Did you have to wait a long time before he was due to come out?
no, he was due to come out in about, I think it was about 6 months.
Oh, okay.
But then he got caught with that phone that we met on the dating site.
Oh, snap.
And then he got, I think, like 60 days at it or something like that. So it ended up being about 8 months before he got out.
Okay. And Kate, you don't have to answer this, but I'm so curious because my husband had a phone and it was before he even knew me. So was he FaceTiming you from inside?
We FaceTimed everywhere, like on fires, like actual legit
No.
fires. Like I got to see the flame retardant being dropped from airplanes and stuff like that. It was really cool.
Oh my gosh, what a cool experience. I mean, we're not supposed to have
Uh,
phones, but yeah, super cool.
yeah. And he would send me really cool pictures of really pretty graveyards that were like overgrown in the forest and cute little critters that he would find, scary little tarantulas that he would pick up. It was just really a unique experience, I guess.
Yeah, because you would have had contact with him all the time, which is way different than most people who met while incarcerated, you know?
Oh, right. And like this was 10 years ago now, almost. I mean, it was pretty relaxed. I guess fire camps still are pretty relaxed, but I would say the fire camps are a little more on top of those things like cell phones and stuff like that.
They've gotten better over
So
the years,
they have gotten better, yeah.
unfortunately. Did you get to meet him while he was incarcerated, or was the first time you met him once he was free?
I did go meet him at Mount Bullion, and then after he got in trouble for that cell phone, they sent him to Miramonte. So I went to two different camps, and it was a nice experience. It was really woodsy. It was in the middle of the forest, basically,
Wow.
and it didn't feel like a prison at all. It wasn't intimidating. There was no razor wire or anything like that. So it was very relaxed, and we could just hang out and finally get to know each other in person.
Was it as you expected? Because you've been talking and you've been FaceTiming and then you see him in person.
Yes, he was no different in person than he was over the phone or on FaceTime or anything like that. He was just very honest, and we just clicked, and it kind of felt like I had known him my whole life.
And then he gets out. You knew his charges before, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So did you have any concerns that he might reoffend?
I really wasn't sure at first, but I did know he was honest. So I did know that he said he wanted to come home, he wanted to work, he wanted to have a family. I did believe him there. I didn't know if he would like relapse or reoffend. It was just kind of up in the air.
Did you guys talk about it other than him saying that he wasn't planning to? Was there like steps or any kind of boundaries or anything that you had discussed to try and mitigate that risk?
I don't know, not really. Like when he first came out, he stayed clean. He had been clean in prison all that time. So I trusted him to stay clean. You know what I mean? And the drug and alcohol abuse is the only thing that ever really led him astray. But when he was home and focused on family and work and stuff like that, he did really well.
Wow, that's so nice. So I've had experience with significant others that have struggled with substance abuse, and it can be really challenging to stay sober. And I imagine coming out of being incarcerated back to the free world, there's so many opportunities, although there is in prison too. I really commend him for being able to stay clean throughout coming home.
Yeah, and again, work and family really kept him focused on not using anything. So
How long was he locked up for, by the way?
he was in there for, I think, around 6 years,
Mm.
and his sentence was 11 years. And at the time, he was like, I didn't even fight it. I didn't even care. I didn't have very much hope or anything to go home to. So I really just didn't care.
Wow, that's so sad.
So he just let them sentence him to that, and he didn't put up much of a fight. And he said that he didn't even really bat an eyelash when they said 11 years.
Was that his first time?
No.
So he's been in a few times.
He had some stuff when he was a juvenile. I think his first time in prison was when he was 19. And then I think there might have been a time between that first strike and him being 19. I think he served some time in there too.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of like in and out in his adult, even his teen years.
Which is so common.
Yeah.
The rate of recidivism is insane.
Especially when they get them as juveniles.
Yeah.
It's a really vicious cycle.
For sure. What would you say was the most challenging thing when he came home for you guys?
I would say just trying to get comfortable in being in a healthy, normal family setting. He had a pretty rough past, and people with a rough past generally don't feel like they deserve good things.
Yeah.
And when things get good and comfortable, they have a hard time believing that they deserve that. So sometimes they self-sabotage by doing things like relapsing if they were maybe an alcoholic or used drugs. So yeah, I think that was something that he had to work on. Him and I together had to work on our communication and learning to deal with our past traumas, which brought up things like trust issues, abandonment issues. So yeah.
Yeah. I think it's just so common what you're saying about self-sabotaging. Even I can relate to that. It's something that is very much attached to abandonment issues. And I think he was really blessed to come into your world where you have strong family connections, right? How did your family deal with you bringing home someone who was previously incarcerated and also didn't have a history of having that loving family?
So at first, my parents weren't too sure about it. He was actually in a treatment program, which is just like a post-release kind of program. And he didn't like it there because people were using drugs around him, and he really wanted to stay focused. He wanted to go get a job right away. He wanted to do something with himself and not sit in a treatment center where people are just using drugs. So he finally ended up moving in with us. And immediately he got to work. We started working on getting his license, which he's never had before.
Wow.
He never got to get his license because he had a DUI when he was a teenager. And I think that was one of his very first, like, real run-ins with the law. So that was kind of pricey, and he had to take a bunch of classes, but we got that. And then he started working for a tree company that was actually run by somebody that he was in fire camp with.
Oh.
So, yeah, the guy got out of fire camp, and he started his own tree service with the skills that he learned at fire camp.
Wow. That's unique.
And so he went to work for him, and he was with him for, like, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
So he essentially did everything that he said he would do. He followed through on that. So your parents being maybe skeptical at the beginning, did that help them accept him?
Yes, definitely. And he really put in a lot of work to prove himself. My parents couldn't even depend on my own brothers to help them with things. My dad, when he came home, was about, I think, 74. And my mom was like 69, I believe. So my dad could no longer do things like get on the roof to do the air conditioner. In the summertime, he couldn't weed eat all of our property because we have a pretty big piece of property. So he took on all those duties for my dad.
Oh my gosh.
He just really stepped up for my dad and really proved himself there. Then my mom, she's very sympathetic and they get along so well. Sometimes I think she likes him better than me. They're just so alike in personality. They like the same foods. They like the same TV shows. They love cribbage. They just get along so well.
Aww. He really just fit into your family so well.
Yes, for sure. My mom calls him her son, and don't you dare call him her son-in-law.
Oh,
that is her son. That's her baby.
Aww, that is so sweet.
He's never had that mother figure in his life, so she made a huge impact on him.
It really sounds like it. I'm thinking of someone who didn't have the best family life growing up, and then to be into this whole loving family that just absorbs you and gives you that opportunity and the ability to bond in that way. It must have been really nice for him.
Right. Yeah, it definitely has been. It's definitely softened him up and helped him just kind of undo all that, being institutionalized.
Yeah.
Being institutionalized is just so hard. It's such a hard state of mind to get out of. But just having us has really helped him do that.
And how long do you think it took from him getting out to being at that comfort level and not being so institutionalized? Was it a long journey to get there for him?
I would say, yeah, it was kind of a long journey. It took time. I feel like even to this day, he still works on just the symptoms of being institutionalized. You know what I mean? But then him going back this time, he was like, I can't go back. He's like, it's just not me. I don't even know how to do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, babe, I know you're too soft for prison.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I am not. And I was like, yes, you are. I said, your wife tucks you in with a blankie at night. You're soft.
Yeah. But I feel like you just put on this old face, I guess, right?
Yeah. So that's one of the things of growing up, how he did, and the time he spent in prison. He just had to I guess, reassimilate back into that. And he has a really easy time adapting to those things. He's pretty adaptable.
Yeah. And it's familiar for a lot of people.
And yeah, it's definitely something that he'll never forget. He doesn't want to be like that, but he definitely knows how to get through.
Yeah.
So
when he was staying with you guys and integrating, I guess, for the first time into your family and everything was going really good, you spoke earlier with me about your dad getting sick and how supportive he was around that for you. Do you want to just walk us through a little bit about what happened and what he did to step up for you and your family?
Yeah, so my dad had just had a cough for kind of a while, and he finally went to the hospital to get it checked out after a bunch of doctor's appointments and stuff. And we thought that maybe he would be in there for about a week. But as time went on, they kept him in the bed for about 3-4 days, and that's when he kind of started to lose just his overall muscle tone and strength. He was 81 at the time. So he just kind of started getting weaker. He was already on dialysis, and they had caught non-alcoholic liver cirrhosis extremely late. He was already in end stage by the time they caught it. That was about 2 years ago. Wow. And I don't know how they never caught that. Right. I don't understand how in the blood work you don't catch that somebody is in end stage liver failure. So he already had some things going against him, and he was just really weak from being in the hospital. And so they sent him to one of those rehab places where they get you walking again so that you can go home safely. And he went to his dialysis after he got there, and I can't remember. I think he maybe passed out or something like that, and they had to rush him back over to the hospital. So he continued to be bedridden, and not be able to rehabilitate and walk.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a lot of back and forth between going to the hospital, going to the rehab, issues with dialysis, because after so many years of doing dialysis, your body just can't take it anymore. It's a pretty intense thing. But in that whole time, JR was there with him 100% every single day, after work, on the weekends, any spare time. My mom and I, we had things that we had to care for at the house. I had the kids. So JR was pretty much the one to take care of all of that.
Wow.
And stay with him because he hated to be alone.
Okay.
He didn't like being in the hospital. He didn't come out and say it like, hey, I'm lonely.
Mm-hmm.
But we knew, and JR knew. And so he was there every single day to help him shave, clip his nails. My dad had some loose teeth at the time in the hospital, and the doctors couldn't really deal with that because they couldn't give him the anesthesia because of the dialysis to actually pull the teeth and alleviate that issue.
Yeah.
So he had a really hard time eating. So JR was there every single meal that he could be to make sure that he was eating something. We would bring him like baby food and stuff like that, and he would help my dad eat and just get something in his stomach. He would encourage him to drink his protein shakes because that's really important for people on dialysis.
Yeah.
And he was just there every single day. He never missed a beat. Not even my own family could do that for him. And then when it came time for hospice, which was a hard decision all on its own, my dad, the whole time he was in the hospital, about 2 months, he was begging to go home.
Yeah.
We couldn't let him pass at the hospital. So when it came time, we got a bedroom ready, which JR helped us with. We set up all the equipment. When they transferred my dad from hospital to the rehab center one time, JR followed the transport van so that my dad could see him out the window, and he followed him on his motorcycle so that he could see that he wasn't going to leave his side. It was really cute. He was just such a good son, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then once we got him here, he helped us with all the medicine and cleaning him up and make sure that my dad was able to pass with some dignity.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he took a really big part in that whole situation.
Devastating. Devastating situation.
Devastating, for sure. And he was a huge emotional support for my mom.
As you're telling the story, and like I told you before, this has stuck with me since the first time I heard it, because it takes a special man to do that to someone they're not even related to. And not only that, but it comes to mind that your father passing, this man who you've chosen to spend your life with, has given your father that reassurance of who he is. I don't think your father could have asked for a better gift or security blanket knowing that his daughter is going to be with this type of man.
Oh my God, now that you put it that way, I never even really fully grasped that.
Yeah, like, it's just not something that you hear.
I know. And you're so right. A father really wants to see their daughter marry somebody that's going to take care of them, because I was a daddy's girl, like 100% through and through. I was always by my dad's side, hanging out with him in the junkyards and the auto shops while he built his car. So I know it was important for him to know that his daughter was going to be okay. And his wife. He needed to know that somebody was going to take care of his wife too, because my mom is so spoiled. He took such good care of my mother.
Aww.
I never realized it until after he passed, and I was like, oh my God, Mom, Dad took such good care of you. Like, he did everything for you.
Oh my gosh, that's
you
so
know,
cute.
So it must have been so hard for him while he was passing to know that he was leaving, more than anybody, leaving his wife behind and alone. But I'm sure it was reassuring for him to know that JR would be there for my mom too.
Yeah, it's like he was able to pass knowing that his girls were going to be taken care of because of the man that you chose. That's so nice.
I know, right?
What a beautiful way.
And just taking care of this house. I own the house that my mom and dad bought back in the 80s. And he knew that me and JR was going to take care of this house, and that his wife, the love of his life, gets to stay in this house, and we're going to keep her safe and comfortable here too, just like he was.
Yeah. So we're talking about him and how he integrated into your family and all these beautiful things that he did and what kind of wonderful human he is, really. And then he reoffends. What was that like?
It was definitely hard. We had had an argument, and I basically kicked him out. I told him, I don't need you anymore. Life would be better without you. It was a nasty argument, and I kicked him out, and he was gone for about 2 months. He found a room to rent, but he had also started drinking again. There was some outside influence, people that kept him sidetracked and kept him from reaching back out and just saying, I just want to come home.
Yeah.
Can I come home? Like, I'm not doing good out here. I need to come home, you know? And
Yeah.
he knows how much I love him. I would have been like, yes, come home.
So you didn't talk to him for those 2 months?
No, not really.
Wow.
It was hard. I was just trying to move on. I was trying to forget him. And I thought maybe this was it. Maybe we're over. And it was just strange to me that he also wasn't reaching out. But I did know that there was outside influences. Unfortunately, those people were my own family.
Oh.
Yeah. But he finally did reach out. We started talking. And one of those nights, I think he was at his dad's, and we were on the phone, and he was going to come back home. He was ready to come back home. I told him not to drink tonight, just go home, and I'm going to come to your place. I'll see you soon.
Okay.
And I had put the kids to bed, and I called him, and he didn't answer, and I kept calling, and he didn't answer, and I started to get really worried. He finally called me. He said something had happened, so I went racing out of the house. I really didn't know what to expect. He was a little banged up and under the influence, and he couldn't even really explain or remember what had happened.
Oh, gosh.
He had like a knot on his head.
Oof.
And it was just like a really bad dream.
Yeah.
It's definitely one part of our past that I don't try to reflect on too much because it literally felt like a nightmare. It was like after everything, you were going to come home and now you're not.
And did he tell you that night, or he wasn't aware that he had done something that wasn't legal?
He kind of started to piece things together over the next few hours, him sobering up. He was pretty drunk at the time.
Yeah.
And then we kind of started to piece things together.
Oh my gosh, I can't imagine how devastated you must have been.
Yeah, it was definitely something. And then there was the whole arrest warrant, which was actually a Ramey warrant, which meant that they can go to anybody's house and bust down the door if they have any reasonable suspicion that he might be there. So he decided, because he didn't want the kids to see, he didn't want my mom to see, he didn't want them traumatized, he didn't want them scared. So we got him a lawyer really quick, and then he went and turned himself in. He went straight on down to the jail and said, here I am.
That's like the most mature thing you could do in the situation.
It was.
Yeah.
And I think it also, for the judge, when she sat and read through all the litigation that we had put together, I think that was another reason for her making the decision that she did.
Did you carry any guilt around it?
I did. I felt like there was a lot of what if. What if we hadn't had an argument? What if I didn't kick him out? Maybe I shouldn't have been such a hothead. There could have been some other way that I went about it, and he would still be here. But anytime that I've brought it up, he gets on me about it. He tells me I had absolutely nothing to do with it. It's not my fault. I shouldn't feel guilty. I shouldn't feel shame. It was his own actions, and he holds himself accountable 100% and tells me not to think that way.
Which is right. I mean, he's so right.
He is.
Yeah, he made that decision that night. He made a series of unfortunate events, but they were all his, and he took ownership. He took ownership of those decisions, which is part of being a man and owning up to it. And it's nice that you were able to have that conversation together about that. And did that help you ease your...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, he tells me, don't even think like that. This has absolutely nothing to do with you. This was not you. Just because we had had an argument and you had made me leave that night, that has nothing to do with my own decisions and my own actions.
Right.
And I think that's a honorable way to deal with it.
Absolutely. Given the situation. And then was he in jail from then on, or were you able to get him out?
He had a hefty price tag.
Yeah. Oh no.
uh,
I'm sure those
and for
warrants
the
don't come for nothing.
yeah, so they wanted just a little bit over a $500,000 for
Oh,
him. And yeah, and I didn't think that I was going to be able to do it. The main hang up was for a bail that big, they want about 5 to 6 co-signers.
what?
Yes. Yeah, I know. Not a lot of bail companies will take that high of a risk without about 5 to 6 people on the line and a house for collateral. They want quite a bit.
Wow.
But I was working with a bail company that we had used about 3 years after he got out. The DA was trying to charge him with something, which they ended up dropping all charges because it was just a bunch of nonsense. But we had worked with her before, and I had done a settlement with her where I just paid her cash in full. And he never gave them any problems or anything like that. He didn't try to run or anything like that, and she trusted us and she wanted to help us. So she actually went to bat for us with her boss, and she got her boss to agree to do it with no house as collateral, only 3 co-signers, and about $35,000
Oh my
cash up front.
No big deal. No big deal.
No big deal.
As you're telling me, I'm like, yeah, if that were my situation, I don't think anybody would co-sign. I don't think I know one person that would be like, yeah, I'll put up
Right?
the risk of $500,000. No big deal.
At first, they just wanted $25,000, but I couldn't get 5 co-signers. So she said, for an extra 10 grand, we'll let you do it with 3 co-signers.
Oh my.
Money talks.
Yeah.
Money definitely talks.
Mm-hmm.
So I pulled everything out of savings.
Mm-hmm.
I pulled out a bunch of credit cards, and I went down there and I got him out, and we put him on an ankle monitor for 3 years as part of the bail term, the terms of the bail. He had to be on an ankle monitor, which we had to pay for every month.
Okay.
So yeah, he was on that ankle monitor for 3 years. He always did his check-ins and all that stuff. So everything went well there.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, the lady that runs the GPS company wrote him a character reference.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he was such a good customer that she wrote him a character reference.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
man.
Precious. The GPS lady even likes you.
Boy, we threw thousands of dollars at this lady over 3 years. We were her best customer, and we never gave them any issues. You know what I mean? Like, he always checked in. So if you do the right thing, people usually tend to like you.
Yeah, especially in that industry, I think, where there's a lot of people that don't. It must be nice, like refreshing for them to have someone so compliant.
I know. I can't believe this ankle monitor lady wrote you a character reference letter.
I love it. What else did you guys do while you were waiting trial to try and help him so that his sentence would be as minimal as possible?
So he stayed employed. That was the number one thing. He kept a steady full-time job, which his boss wrote him a character reference to. He did an outpatient rehab kind of program.
Yeah. Okay.
Which he got certificates and stuff like that, but also his counselor wrote him a separate character reference that was a little more personal about him. He did just regular counseling, just like with a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like deal with his own inner stuff.
Yeah.
I just kept really close record of all that kind of stuff, and then a ton of letters from one of his brothers, his sister, from me, from my mom, from my dad. And then he wrote a very long and well thought out, I guess, letter of remorse. Is that what they're called?
Yeah, yeah.
He wrote one, and actually the lawyer read through it, and he was like, this remorse letter almost brought me to tears.
Oh.
So it was very thoughtful
Mm-hmm.
and very well written.
Did anyone guide you on what you should do in this time to help, or was it just you guys kind of like thinking up things on your own?
The lawyer told us, yes, to obviously stay employed, do volunteer work, character references, counseling, rehab, just anything that we could think of.
Yeah.
So the lawyer wasn't very much help per se,
Okay.
but what he did do for us was he gave us a lot of time, because he kept kicking the court date just out and out and out until we were 3 years into this case.
Smart.
So the best thing probably that he could have done for us is what he did. And he gave us 3 years for him to be out here and really prove himself and show that he can be a productive member of society, because the DA was sitting up there calling him a danger to society. And at the end of all of it, with all the hard work that he put in, the judge straight up told the district attorney, I don't believe that he's a danger to society.
Wow.
And she actually went against probation's recommendation and went against the DA's recommendation and gave him lower term instead of upper term.
Amazing. So
Yeah,
rare
so
that you
it
hear.
all worked.
Yeah.
I know. Just putting in so much effort, it worked. And through the whole thing, we didn't believe it. We thought this was it. He was going to be gone for 14 years. He even signed the plea deal for 14 years. He signed his life away. And we were like, this is it. It's over. The next decade of our life is gone together.
Yeah.
And it was just such a blessing. His lawyer and I, after the sentencing, we sat outside of the courtroom on the bench, and for a few seconds, we couldn't even say anything. We were speechless. He said, in all my 30 years, I have never, ever seen a judge make a decision like that in all my 30 years of practicing law.
Wow.
So it was definitely a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. You pretty much answered it, but what do you think would have been different had he not had that time to prove himself, those 3 years?
It would be so different. At the very start, the district attorney was threatening him with, I think, like 24 years or something like that. So if we wouldn't have fought it, if I would have left him in jail, we would have never had a chance. I don't think that people can fight a case in a fair way from inside of jail. The odds are so stacked against you. The outcome would have been so much worse. So, yeah, it was a huge risk spending everything and maxing out those credit cards, but it was so worth it. I would spend that money over again.
You know, you always hear stories of money gets you out of things, right? And sometimes you hear good stories about public defenders, sometimes you hear really bad stories, but it always all comes down to how much money you have gets you the lighter sentences or gets you off. And you don't even realize sometimes just how much of an impact it would have. But I feel like your situation highlights, because how many people could put up that much amount of money and have that many co-signers? And
right,
it's set up to fail. If you do not have the financial means to be able to do that, you're essentially set up to fail.
I agree. Some people can't even afford $1,000 bail. And it's just so stacked against people. And honestly, I didn't even have it all in cash. It was credit cards. Luckily, I have a huge credit profile.
Yeah.
I had fake money to spend. It wasn't even actual money.
Yeah, 100%.
It was a risk. And the whole time he was out, he was like, I just need to stay out and fight this case long enough to pay off these credit cards so that I don't leave you in debt. He was like, that is my worst fear, that I won't be able to pay off these credit cards before they take me back in.
Right.
So that was his number one concern, because he didn't want to leave me with a burden.
Yeah.
Because I had taken this huge risk, even though he was like, I don't think you should do this. This is stupid.
Yo, if I had to come up with $35,000 to get my man out for a couple years, I'd be there. I have a large portfolio too. I'm in. You can have all my credit
Right?
cards. Yeah.
And actually, to be honest, I called two of my credit card companies to ask for a credit limit increase just to do it.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
luckily, I've got really good credit, so they were like, "Yeah, here's another $6,000 here." And
Yeah.
oh my God, I was just scrambling to make it happen, and by the grace of God, we made it happen.
So throughout all this, did your family's perception change? Did their perspective on him change? Did they think you were crazy to be doing the things that you were doing? Did they think that you should leave him?
To be fair, my family already thinks I'm crazy,
Yeah. Fair.
and they're probably not wrong.
Yeah.
But my family, for the most part, I don't really care for. I don't really talk to. So it's really hard to say what their opinion of me is. I know they have a poor opinion of me until they want to borrow money or they want me to sign on a car loan or something like that. So honestly, I try not to care what my family thinks.
Yeah.
My mom, her opinion has not changed. She loves JR. That is her son. He can do no wrong.
So cute.
So, yeah, it is pretty cute. My littlest one, he is 11 now, but when JR came into our lives, he was about 2.
Yeah.
So he doesn't remember a time when JR wasn't in his life.
Yeah.
And when he was old enough to form opinions, he had asked me, "Does everybody have a JR?" Because he
Aww.
didn't know what a stepdad was yet. He was too
Aw.
young to understand what a stepdad was yet. So he wanted to know if everybody had a JR because he knows he has a dad, but then he's got a JR.
Oh my gosh. What a cute kid.
So, yeah. And so he just loves JR. He's taken him to go fishing for his first time, and he takes him on adventures and rough and tumbles with him and does all the boy stuff that moms don't generally do with boys. I mean, I do boy stuff with him too, but like JR will get really down and dirty with the boy stuff.
And then also now your son will have someone to teach him all the stuff that your dad taught JR. Like it's just passed down.
And, oh, yeah, for sure. And JR's dad taught him a lot of stuff about cars and working on things here around the house and stuff like that. So his dad and my dad were very much alike, very hard workers, really knew how to do a lot of things. And JR just knows how to do everything. There's nothing really that he can't do. He's fixed our septic tank, which is just such a shitty job. Like,
Literally.
no pun intended,
Yeah.
but we just were winging it, and he fixed it. And it's so good to know that I found somebody that can always provide for us and take care of us and fix things around here. And I always tell him that he looks so hot when he's working.
So throughout this whole process, did
Did
you
I
ever
look like
question
what?
not staying?
No,
No.
it's never been a question. Yeah, there's really nothing that'll make me love him less.
Yeah.
It's a very unconditional kind of love through the hard times. I can't imagine my life without him. The types of adventures we have and the things that we do, it's just very unique to us.
Yeah.
And incarceration is really nothing compared to the things that we've already overcome together and the things that we're going to overcome in the future, too. We're going to come across other hard things, and we're not going to give up then either.
Yeah.
My opinion of his character hasn't changed one bit either. I know who he is. I saw what he did for my dad. I saw what he did for his dad. I see what he does for my children.
I love that because that's so true.
Yeah, and so that
Yeah.
goes back to what does my family think? What is my family's opinion? Well, it doesn't really matter because I see
Yeah.
who he is. I've seen him do it.
Do you worry he might reoffend again next time he's out?
No.
Yeah.
No, I think this is definitely it. He just so badly wants to come home.
Yeah.
The last time he was in prison for the 11 years, he didn't really care about getting out early. He didn't really care about time off. This time around, he did a water treatment operator program
Oh, cool.
and got 4 months off. Yeah, it's 2 different certificates. And he was like, this is the first time I've ever done credit. He was
Aww.
like, I never cared before.
Yeah.
He's like, I just so badly. He's like, I will take any course they want me to just to be home again.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he'll relapse again.
Yeah.
I don't think that he'll take himself away from his family.
Yeah, you gave him
Like,
something to live for.
yeah. Yeah. I think maybe 3-4 years ago, we probably took each other for granted. We weren't very appreciative of each other. And this time, I think we both learned a lesson.
Yeah.
We can't live without each other. I might have acted tough, like I could live without him, but I can't.
Yeah. We haven't really touched on it, but he is fighting fires right now. I guess it's not super active right
Yeah.
now, but he is on the team.
Yes. I think they're getting ready to make him first saw soon. They are aware that he's been an arborist for the past 10 years. So they're like, hey, we got a job for you.
Oh, nice.
We heard you know how to run a saw.
Which would make sense, yeah.
So, yeah, he was on the Palisades fire, and then they moved over, I think, to like the Hughes fire. He got to go to that Jelly Roll concert for the first responders.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got to see an actual video of him there, and he was just so happy and smiling. I've never seen somebody so happy to be locked up. You know,
It's Jelly Roll.
I know.
Ah.
And it was his first concert ever. He was like, I cannot believe I'm going to my first concert while I'm a prisoner.
Wow. He's never been to a concert. What a great concert to go to. I would love to see him.
I know. He had a really good time. Like the very next day when he called me and told me all about it, like that was all he could talk about. I'm so glad that he got to have some kind of good experience because those guys really do deserve it. They work hard and it boosts their spirits too.
Yeah, for sure. That sense of accomplishment, that sense of giving back to your community.
A lot of people were just learning that we have incarcerated firefighters.
Yeah.
And so they got a lot of love.
Yeah. I think you've done such a beautiful job of telling us about JR and the impact that he's had on your family and the fact that even though he's reoffended a few times and struggled through the prison system on multiple occasions, that doesn't define him, and he's so much more than that. And I really appreciate you sharing all those things. Is there anything else that you want people to understand about your relationship or these types of relationships in general?
I definitely feel like other people can have these same types of experiences. It doesn't have to always be a sad story. I think if somebody's focused and they truly love each other, they can make it and kind of defeat the odds together. There are blessings out there. It's not completely hopeless.
Yeah.
But the lifestyle's not for the weak.
No, I think that's the trend of prison wives. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It ain't easy.
Yeah, and not everybody can do this.
No.
It takes a lot of love and a lot of dedication to do this and get through this together.
100%. A lot of strength. I find, since obviously I've been meeting so many different people from all over the country, and the general trending quality that I found in the women that I've interviewed is strength. There's a lot of independence and there's a lot of strength in the women that are in these relationships and successfully being in these relationships with men that are currently incarcerated.
We have to be. I mean, we get judged a lot. There's a lot of stigma. You have to be strong. You can't listen to that stuff. Nobody knows your life better than you. Nobody knows your partner better than you.
Yeah.
And we have a lot to take care of while our men are gone. Yeah, I have a whole house with a mortgage and cars and kids and a job, and we have to keep it all afloat while they're gone.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of hard work to maintain. So you do have to be strong and you have to be independent. And you have to have a strong man that's willing to encourage you to keep going.
That's true. Very interesting part, actually, is that encouragement and
Yeah,
that support.
some men are not so encouraging, and I think that's where some people have a harder time maintaining these relationships, because it's a hard position for a man to be in there and not providing for his family. It's hard on their psyche. So
It's so interesting, too, that you said that, because it is something actually that I've never really thought about, because I find that my husband is always continuously trying to find different ways that he can support me on different levels, like emotionally, psychologically. And I never realized that until you just said that. I'm like, oh, he does do these random things to help me get through stuff because he can't be here physically, you know? So true.
I know. Instead of beating me down over things,
Yeah.
he tells me, he's like, I am so proud of you. Look at what you're doing. Like, you fixed the plumbing yourself.
Yeah.
You installed a new faucet yourself. I am so proud of you. You are such a strong woman. You don't even need me anymore.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming
So,
on, and thank you so much for sharing
yeah.
your experiences. I really appreciate it, and I just love your story, and I think you're really blessed, and I wish you and him as a couple all the best. He sounds like such a great human, and it sounds like you both fit so well together that it's nice to hear.
We really do, and that's why I've never even considered giving up.
Yeah, for sure. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, take care. Bye.